With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete to open things up.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Detroit! Detroit! Hot! Over!
Throwing again. Pitts. Throw left side complete. That's Hansen. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Gets it to Meredith complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll try to run forward with Howard. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Lucky 56.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
got you now, Barney, Barney.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now the punter, who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On second down, here's Carr. He finds McCoy. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And out now come the Vikings. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak for the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Leopard! Detroit! Detroit!
Off play action. Pitts. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Lucky 56! Gun!
Operating from the gun. Pitts. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hansen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Bobby Wagner in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Off the play fake. Pitts. Throw left side complete. It's Hansen. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Shotgun now for Carr. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cook. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Escapes the defender, and it's brought in by Washington. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. James Washington, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
throwing on first down. Pitts finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. Off play action. Pitts. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know, they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Pitts. Now he'll escape to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. Tyler Lockett now on the return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on 1st down. Out to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight, He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now out comes Minnesota. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
On 1st and 10, Pitts. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Off the play fake. Pitts. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He's got a man. Complete. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Leopard! Hot!
2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this.
No, check, Patriot! Patriot!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st down, Pitts. That's caught by Meredith right side. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
To throw on 2nd down. Pitts looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Shepard. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Sterling Shepard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And it's now 21-7. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
"35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on first down. They start the drive with Cook. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. On play action, it's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on first down. Pitts. Throw left side complete. It's Shepard. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is good. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. To throw, it's Carr. This complete to Lockett. Space to maneuver at the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Carr. Flush to his right. Fighting his way through contact. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now a play fake. Carr. He sets to fire deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Pitts over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Good.
On 1st and 10, Pitts. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Off play action. Pitts. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Off the play fake. Pitts. He's going to let this go deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On play action, now Carr. And he's got Lockett. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. From the gun, Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Eric Kendricks not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable 3rd down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
Now Carr. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards down to the 15.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Carr to throw on second down. Inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. The quick slant caught. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way, so it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Leopard!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Pitts. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. On 4th down, Pitts. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hansen. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit!
On 1st down, Pitts. Just keeping the play alive. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Looking to throw. Pitts. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Good.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go on the ground. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
He'll get it up the middle, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. Lockett the return. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
White. 93.
Again, it's Cook. And he powers his way up past the 30. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he will have a first down.